There we go. Okay, we're recording locally as well. Right, are you ready? Let's get this thing up because I always forget it. Where is it, admin? Right, ready?
Yep, ready.
Hey there guys, Zach here from WinBeta, and welcome to episode number 39 of the WinBeta podcast for the week of October 30th, 2015. With me is co-host Sean Michael. Hey there, Sean.
Hey there, guys.
And this week we're going to be talking about a number of different stories, mostly Windows 10 builds. Microsoft released a whole batch of Windows 10 builds this week, not only for the desktop and phone, but for Xbox One as well, which was pretty nice. We've also got a couple of news stories from Microsoft themselves. They've announced that in the new year, Windows 10 will be downloaded automatically onto PCs that have, Windows Update automatic. So, oops, I don't know. We'll see what people think about that. And of course, we've got some Redstone news, which we will probably kick off with. So, how have you been, Sean?
I'm good, but before we start anything, Zach, you know what today is?
What?
Today is our Halloween podcast.
It is.
I have a very, very special costume for you guys.
You've made a costume. What is it?
It's a live tile.
You made a live tile. That's hilarious.
It's the people live tile. We got Zach, we got Leah, we got me in the middle here. And, hold on, you got to wait for it. It's got to flip. Zach says, join us for the podcast.
That is great. Oh, look at that.
So happy Halloween, everybody. It's the WinBeta Halloween special.
It's scary because it's the new people dive tile, which is ugly.
Yeah, I made them circle icons just to scare you guys. Oh, don't worry. I have plenty of other scary and spooky things, and Zach has not seen any of them.
I've not seen none of them. These are all going.
So we're going to freak Zach out mid-podcast just to scare our listeners.
Oh, that was great. That was nice joke. That was off to a good start. We should probably talk about Redstone because that's what everybody's here for. Oh no, actually, let's not. Let's talk about the first story on the list, which is Windows 10 has surpassed 120 million installs. Now, I wrote this story yesterday or sometime earlier this week. I was told that Windows 10 has now surpassed 120 million installs 3 months since launch. So I wrote that on October 29, 3 months since Windows 10 launched in July 29. So yeah, 120 million installs in 3 months, not too bad. If we times that by a certain amount, in 24 months, we'll be at 960 million. Assuming we keep the average of 120 million per 3 months.
Which I don't know about that one.
Yeah, and then we'll be close to 1 billion, and Microsoft wins. So that's their goal, I imagine. And with Windows 10 being automatically downloaded in the new year, I'm sure more people will start installing it anyway, which we'll talk more about in a little while. But yeah, 120 million. What's there to complain about?
I don't know. It is a good pace. We've talked about this a billion times before, and we will talk about it a billion times again.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's move on then. I guess that was a really quick story. We might need more.
I don't know. What are we going to say? I mean, I don't think they're going to keep that pace. They won't hit 1 billion until other stuff, but we're going to talk about why.
Do you still think they're going to hit 1 billion in 3 years?
No.
No, you don't think so now?
No, I don't know. Did I say 3 years before?
That's what Microsoft said.
I don't know. I think people have to buy new systems. So when people's computers die, they'll buy Windows 10. Then support cycles end and all that stuff. I don't think, maybe not 3 years. I may have said that before. I've reneged my previous statement and reserve the right to renege it again.
So I'm optimistic. I would hope they reach 1 billion in at least 4 years. Because Windows 10, I mean, they're not going to release a Windows 11 in 3 years. It's still Windows 10, or it might be a Windows 10.5 or whatever, but it will still be Windows 10. So I'm optimistic. I would hope that they get to 1 billion, but I guess time will tell. Time is slow.
Whoa. What was that?
What are you doing?
I don't know what happened. Sorry, go ahead.
Right, let's move on to Redstone. I also wrote a story this week, I wrote it earlier today actually, about Redstone. Now, we don't know much about Redstone yet, as the update is still being drawn up internally, so they're still, they're sitting down, they're using pens and paper and writing out what they think Redstone should include. So they're not actually, Redstone's gone into development, so there are engineers developing things, but feature-wise, they're still writing it down in Notepad, so they're not entirely sure. Yeah, they're still not entirely sure what it's going to include, but there are a few plans that are now on the table, and developers are now beginning to develop this Redstone. Now, one of these features I learned about recently are updates to Continuum. Now, I've been told that Microsoft is planning to introduce continuity-like functionality to Redstone. So what I mean by that is if you've ever used a Mac or an iPhone, with the latest software. There's a feature called
Zach.
There's a
Our
feature called
listeners haven't used those ever. They don't even know what those are.
There's a feature called continuity, which essentially connects your iPhone to your Mac. So I can be writing an email in the Mail app, and then I can open the Mail app. I can be writing an email on the Mail app on the desktop, then I can open the same app on the phone, and it will pick up right where I left off. Or vice versa, I can be browsing on the phone or browsing the web on the phone with Edge, and then open Edge on the desktop and pick up where I left off. There's also a feature which allows you to make phone calls from your desktop, which is beamed from your device, your iPhone. And this is coming to Windows. This is in the plans. So this will work with Windows 10 and Windows 10 Mobile, so I can, it will work like you would expect. Now, people have been like, well, why are they copying is it continuity? Yeah, why are they copying continuity?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they are technically not copying it, because this was also in the plan for the original Windows 10 launch, which is, a lot of things were. They were also planning to do this kind of app roaming situation, but again, of course, they had to cut things and move them up to future updates. So this is coming now in Redstone, and I think it's a good thing. People are like, oh, they can't do it. They're copying Apple and stuff. It's not copying. It's just moving forward. They've got to do something to move forward, right? And I believe there's already been reports of Redstone being more like a hub to all of your devices or something like that. This technically plays towards that. Redstone will be a hub, so you can have Redstone here, Redstone there. You can send things from here to there. Because right now, Windows 10 and Windows 10 Mobile, although they're connected, the platform's connected, air quotes, they still feel very disconnected.
Well, it's connected in that the code is similar and that you can easily... you can easily have apps and stuff port, but they don't actually connect it in terms of this seamless experience yet, which is what Microsoft has always been talking about.
That's what they're working towards. And they
say it's not users, it's not devices that are mobile, it's users, or those types of phrases. And that's what they've always... So this would be a natural extension of that. Let me talk about this for a second, though, Zach. People... we get a lot of weird feedback. We'll have some people who say, oh, we're biased for Microsoft, and then we have other people who say we're biased against Microsoft. And that's pretty normal that you kind of get that from both ends. And one of the weird things that we get is we have people who say Windows Phone isn't unique. And they say there's nothing that says, oh, this is why you should get a Windows Phone instead of an iPhone or Android, because Office is on all the other platforms, everything's on all the other platforms. There's no reason to get a Windows Phone. Okay, and then you're like, okay, well, I disagree with you because of things like client screen and a bunch of other features that are unique to Windows Phone and the interface itself. But for a moment, let's say that was what they actually believed and that it was based on like 100% something everybody agreed with. Then they're going to announce a feature like this, and it's going to work only with Windows Phone. And you know what we're going to hear?
Yeah.
We're going to hear people go, hey, why doesn't this work with my iPhone? Why doesn't this work with Android? Microsoft's so stupid. Nobody has a Windows Phone. This is a feature that nobody's going to use. And it's like, well, wait a second. You can't say Windows Phone isn't unique. And then when Microsoft wants to make a unique feature to Windows Phone, complain about it. But I can almost guarantee that that's exactly what's going to happen.
Well, here's the people want everything, right? And there's like people... An iPhone user is going to want something Windows Phone has if iPhone doesn't have it. Like because a lot of iPhone users are PC users. Not every iPhone user has a Mac. Mac is, I don't know, isn't it like the smallest market share and operating system wise, which is to be expected. But majority of the iPhone users have a Windows PC, and they'll probably be like, yeah, but that'd be great to have. But you can't have that because the platforms aren't the same. You're not running Windows on your iPhone. It's just not going to work like that. It's impossible. Apple would never allow Microsoft into iOS to allow this functionality. No. So I think this will give people an incentive to buy Windows Phone or Windows 10 Mobile. Sorry, I honestly do. I think this will be one of the first features in a long time that will get people thinking, going, oh, that could be handy. I would actually like to use that.
I completely agree with you. I'm just saying I 100% predict that people will complain that this doesn't work on iOS or Android. But I agree with you because, like you said, it's 90% of the world uses PCs. They have 120 million users on Windows 10, and it's only been on 3 months. And we know that number is going to go up. And if you could say to someone, you get all these features, but instead of having to get an iPhone and rebuy a Mac and have a business switch over to a Mac, you could go to a company and say, if you buy Windows phones for all of your employees, all of your PCs get this functionality. Right. I think a business would say, oh, that's really nice. I want that. and then you'll start seeing these clock in here. So no, I think people buy Macs based on iPhones, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people say, "Oh, I have an iPhone."
See, I wouldn't buy if I was going to buy an iPhone. I'd buy a Mac with it. I wouldn't have an iPhone on its own. I'd buy into the ecosystem. That's what lots of people do these days. They buy into the ecosystem.
Well, and I think that's what you should do if you can afford it. I mean, obviously, I know some people that it doesn't matter, but for full functionality, you need to be on the same operating system, and that's fine. But this, I think, would be a really unique feature. I wish it was coming sooner, though, because the buzz of Windows 10 is going to trickle down. You know, it's still kind of new now, and then there's like this new update. But it's in the news today. I wish this feature was here now when they say Windows 10 Mobile comes out next month, and with it comes this. But unfortunately, that doesn't look like it's going to be the case.
No. It's so the Redstone thing, a couple of additional details. They're planning to do it for a number of first-party apps, which is to be expected, like Mail and Edge and whatever else. But there will be an SDK for developers as well, meaning third-party apps can tap into this. So is that Twitter, Facebook, I don't know, whatever, and other third-party apps that could utilize the ability to, roam apps across devices. It's very exciting. Obviously, Redstone's going to include a lot more than just continuum updates. Here's another thing I should clarify as well. This will come under continuum. I've been told it's not going to be a new separate feature. They're going to be like, this is roam mode or whatever. They're going to class this under continuum, as far as I can tell, unless they change plans or something. Which Microsoft, they do that all the time. But this will fall under continuum because it makes sense to fall under continuum, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Certainly with the naming structure.
Because, the idea of continuum is it's more than one device. It's like you have on the desktop, continuum is desktop and tablet mode. On the phone, it's phone mode and, air quotes, desktop mode. And then continuum can extend to be app here, app there. Roam here, roam there. Do the same thing here, do the same thing there. So it can be phone, desktop, phone. Continuum can evolve. It doesn't have to be the same with every release. And because people are like, it can't be continuum. This is a completely different feature. Continuity and continuum are two different things. Internally, Microsoft have codenamed this feature as continuity. They are calling it internally. Engineers going, to the continuity feature. Yeah, they're calling it continuity. I'm just talking about stuff that they're telling me. I'm not saying they're copying Apple or anything. It's just happening. Right.
No, I think this is a good thing. I honestly, as long as people hear about it, this is going to be I think it'll be a game changer. Maybe not for casual users, though. I do think that's a selling point. A lot of people just have PCs, and then this also applies to tablets. That shouldn't be left out either. Is if you could have a Windows phone or a Windows tab, and then you just get this continuity or whatever they end up calling it, obviously continuum, whatever feature. And I think it's be a major selling point. But, unfortunately, it looks like we get to do this. Hold on, prop number 2 of the day. This is Halloween, guys. I'm scaring you. This is something that should bother you.
You got to add the trademark at the end. Soon TM.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on a second here.
Yeah, quick, retake it.
All right, hold on a sec. So you got, unfortunately, these features seem to be like they're going to be...
Soon trademark. It's all soon. The Edge extensions are coming in 2016. What else is coming in 2016? We might as well mention the Astoria thing now. Project Astoria, Project Astoria, the ability to emulate Android apps and whatever else it does, was in the Windows 10 mobile builds earlier, a few months ago. Then it was stripped and hasn't made a return since. I've been told it's not coming now for Threshold 2. It will be, I guess it would arrive in 2016 as well, along with everything else.
Well, does it have to be that late? I mean, just because it's not Threshold 2, does that mean it can't be
Well, they don't
December?
have another feature update planned until Redstone. I mean, insiders, I hear... Now, I mean, this isn't concrete by any means. It's just what they're trying to do, I guess. But I hear they want to get the Redstone preview started before the end of the year, which means insiders should get maybe 1 or 2 Redstone builds before the year's end, if everything goes to plan. If not, it will be early 2016.
Along with everything else.
Along with everything else. I mean, Redstone as well will launch in 2 waves, like Threshold 1 and 2 did. Windows 10 Redstone 1 will launch in the summer of 2016, and then Redstone 2 will launch in the fall around the same time as Threshold 2 is now, but just a year later. So I imagine they're going to split. Sean has cut out, but we've got to keep rolling with it. So Redstone, you're back.
Yeah.
So I imagine Redstone 1 would be the big update. Redstone 2 would be a much smaller update, like Threshold 1 was a big update, being the entire Windows 10 RTM, and Threshold 2 was little things like whatever the context menus are now and other, small additions. So very exciting times indeed. I am super excited for Redstone. There will be more to Redstone. It's not just Continuum. There will be UI improvements, a number of UI improvements, I imagine, other new features. It's an evolution of Windows. It's not like
this messaging app better be there.
The messaging app would be in Threshold 2 anyway. It's just really bad.
Full SMS integration?
I don't know where SMS integration.
See, that's the feature that has to come.
Yeah.
Like you and I Skype message through it, and that's cool or whatever. But like nobody else is doing that, right?
No, I don't. I mean, seriously, if you're on a desktop, you're going to use the Skype client. Are we using the Skype client right now? I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I am at least.
Yeah. So there's that. You know what? I've kind of gotten to the point. So my girlfriend's on a Windows 10. Well, no, she's on a Windows phone right now, and she got that. I keep telling her, if you don't like it, you go back to your iPhone. Like you don't have to stay here just because of me. Like it's not. You don't have to do that. But she's being. She switched it and she got it. And she likes it sometimes. And this mantra. It's just Windows 10 will fix that. Windows 10 will fix that. And just today she goes, yeah, Sean, I can't do a countdown on my phone. And I was like, yeah, that's Windows 10 will fix that.
Yeah, Windows 10 it is. It's always something they don't have yet.
It's always soon. It'll be here soon. It's not
we should
right
call this
now.
the Sooncast.
But it's exactly.
We should have a name, the Sooncast, instead of WinBeta podcast. Let's go for the Sooncast.
It's gonna be soon, and it's always soon. It's even just when am I going to be able to text message from my tablet? Soon. When am I going to be able to actually connect everything, even though they're all running the same operating system?
Soon. 2016.
Soon. It's all soon, my friends.
2016. That's what you need to know. And then next year, when we get to this time next year, it will be soon in 2017.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it is. Well, why can't I do this? Well, it'll coming in 2017. 2017. Don't worry, it's 2017.
WinBeta podcast episode 39 is coming soon in 2016.
Guess what's coming? Guess what is coming in 2016? WinBeta podcast, no, 100. Will 100 be in 20? No, it'll be.
That's true. Yeah, well, we're gonna take a couple days off or a couple weeks off for Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Christmas break because.
I think we'll hit 100 next year, probably at the end of the year.
Well, no, because there's how many weeks in the year? 52.
52, but I don't know when the Friday is live.
And our year anniversary is February 2016.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So I guess our year anniversary is in 2016. So I guess it'd be 2017 for 100, but 2016 for 50. So that's good.
Yeah, we start doing WinBeta features like that. They could say, "When are you going to have like guests on the show, like listeners?" And we'll say,
"Soon, obviously. When else would it be?"
I could just paste this to my forehead. Just do that for the
Microsoft representatives. I think they have. You know how you can have like macro keys that just type in a word for you when pressing it once. Microsoft representatives, they're just like yes, and then one button it says yes, coming soon, send. That's what they press, that one button all day, and it's just the whole sentence goes out to everybody. That's just what it is. Microsoft loves. The new tagline should be Microsoft coming soon. Always coming soon. But then again, that's the problem with having a constantly rolling software where it's like it's always being updated. Everything is always going to be soon because.
Well, and it's like that. As soon as something else, as soon as RTM is if RTM is going to come out next week, let's guess. I mean, that might not happen, but let's say RTM came out next week for Windows 10 Mobile. The first thing you're going to do is a post on what's coming after RTM.
Absolutely. I mean, usually that comes before the RTM.
Already. It's not even RTM yet. We're talking about what's happening after it.
Exactly. That's how it usually goes. But I mean, in the past with Windows, it would be, this is the new version of Windows, and that's it for 3 years.
Nah, well, whatever. It's, I liked it. I liked it. They keep improving it, but it's just,
there was no soon, was there?
It's the burden of knowledge.
Yes.
It's you and I know what's coming in Redstone to some extent. And that's a long way away. I mean, obviously they don't even Microsoft doesn't know everything that's coming in Redstone because, like you said, they're still drawing it up. But, we start getting a gauge of one or two features or, a few features that are coming. And so we know they're coming. If we had Windows 10 and there was no news, The newest thing you knew was that RTM was coming soon, but you knew nothing beyond it. We would just cover that. But because we get these like shreds, it's like, oh, what's this in the wind? It's like, oh, it tastes like it's like that burnt movie cooking. It's look, it's Windows 10. It's marinating, and we're getting more features. And so you do that. But if you didn't know about it, we wouldn't care.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to bring it up. November 2nd was a date I said Threshold 2 would arrive. I've been told, I was told a few days ago, but I wanted to kind of make sure it's true. It's not coming November 2nd. The original plan was the Threshold 2 to launch next week. November 2nd was the earliest time it could launch. And now it happens because the RTM, the Threshold 2 RTM, didn't sign off this week. I keep saying RTM, that's technically an old term. The final build of Threshold 2 was not signed off by engineers this week, meaning they're going to do it next week. So it means it can't release to the public next week because they're going to want to send it through insiders first just to make sure it's smooth before they send it out to the public. So the original plan was next week it rolls out to the public. This week the RTM was rolled out to insiders, and then obviously we went from there. But things happen. I mean, the Windows 10 RTM, when that was compiled back in July, was also delayed by a week as well, I believe. So it happens. And but this is technically the second time it's been delayed because it was delayed from October to November. Remember, I did. That was right. But
I mean, it's hard to. Someday the Lumia flagships will actually be here, and they're all coming
soon. They're all coming soon. But it's harder now to pinpoint an RTM because Gabe said the other day that they fixed the requirement of having to have it divisible by 16. Like before, you could pinpoint if a build is divisible by 16 and has a certain thingy at the end of it. That could be an RTM build, for example. But now they don't need that. It can technically be any build. They can have build.
They used to not do builds on Fridays.
And now they do all the time.
Now they do it during the show.
Yeah, sometimes during the show. It's just
literally had you download one.
Microsoft, don't ever trust Microsoft until it's in your hands. Don't trust Microsoft.
And then even once it's in your hands, hold on to it really.
Yeah, hold on to it. They can take it away at any time.
Disconnect it from Wi-Fi and all the internet, so you get to keep all your stuff. They'll take away your media center. They'll take it away.
Exactly. So just once you have it, treasure it. Back it up many times just in case you need it one day.
Have a device that you've untethered from the web, and then you keep this Windows 7 Pocket PC in a corner somewhere to run Windows Media Center.
Exactly. You know what we should talk about?
Well, we had a build this week.
We had multiple builds this week. Let's talk about the new desktop build 10.5.7.6. So this build was more of a bug fix build. There wasn't really anything new in it. Edgecast, which was in 10.5.6.5, although a little bit broken, is now working properly in 5.7.6, and essentially allows you to mirrorcast. It allows you to stream video content to Mirrorcast or a DLNA-enabled device on your network. So, for example, you go to YouTube, you can cast a media device straight from Edge, send it to a device, and watch that YouTube video on that particular device, which is pretty great. Now, with PDFs in Edge, you can now ask Cortana, highlight text, ask Cortana, and just a number of other fixes. So, pretty boring build overall. Yeah, that's the build. I mean, it's rolled out to the...
Edgecast is cool.
Yeah, inside of... I mean, this is always the case. At this stage, these builds don't include anything new because we're close to RTM. I mean, this week was supposed to be RTM week. I keep saying RTM, final build. I'm going to just call it the final build. Final build week.
Final countdown.
Next week now. Next week, guys. Soon.
I think Mirrorcast is great. Edgecast is a cool feature. I would point out that it says it's protected. Like there are certain things you can't use Edgecast for. That's a cool name. Is that what they call it? Edgecast? That's what I'm going to call it. That's what you called it. Edgecast. It's edge casting. It sounds it sounds hip, edgy. It's what the kids are doing these days. But can't you just mirrorcast your entire device?
Yes, you can. Yes.
If you have Edge on a device that doesn't support mirrorcast, can you do that? Like, does Edge itself let you mirrorcast things, or do you have to still be on a mirrorcast?
In Edge, it mirrorcasts certain things, but I believe you can stream the entire thing with the connect function on.
Right, but I can just mirror. I mean, obviously, I know some PCs don't support mirrorcast, but what I'm asking is, can you? Because I can mirrorcast anything on my PC, because I'm just mirrorcasting the entire PC, right? But through Edgecast, there are restrictions.
For Edgecast, it's like an individual thing. So not everybody wants to stream their entire screen. Someone might just want to stream a video from YouTube.
Okay, well that makes sense. That's cool. Cool feature. Anyway, that's it for that build mostly, right?
Yes, that's it. Have I got any more stories to cover? Yes.
Big one.
Now here's a sort of controversial story. Microsoft announced earlier this week that Windows 10 will now be starting next year, Windows 10 will be a recommended update for Windows 7 and Windows 8.1 users.
Now what does that mean, Zach?
What it means is it will automatically be downloaded to your device. So Windows 10, the update that initiates the Windows 10 download will be installed onto your device automatically. Windows 10 will download automatically, but it will not install automatically. The user will be prompted to install Windows 10. So it will download, all the bits will be there by the time it prompts you. It'll be like, hey, we've downloaded Windows 10, it's sitting on your hard drive, it's ready to go. Do you want us to install it? You can press yes, you can press no. If you press no, they will not bother you again, but they will not delete Windows 10 from your hard drive. It will sit there and it will take up space for the rest of eternity, because unless you deal with it. But yeah, it's kind of a cheeky move from Microsoft.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
How many gigs is Windows 10?
Like 4 or 5 gigs. I think the download is at least.
Do you want a 4 or 5 gig file sitting on your computer that you don't want? What if Windows 7 was stuck on your PC and you couldn't delete it?
That'd be annoying, but I've got like a 500 gigabyte hard drive. I'd be alright.
I don't. I got a 64 gig Surface Pro 2.
How do you live on 64 gigabytes?
I'm over here deleting things. Every time I make a video, I back it up to like a hard drive or like the cloud, and then just get rid of it.
Yeah. Man, but yeah, they're gonna do that now, and I mean, I hope it will just convince people to upgrade, because it's like, oh, why it's here now? Why not?
Well, hopefully by the time they're doing that, man, I'm down to 16 free gigs on my device. But in any event, once it's there, Windows 10 should be better, because they should have had these multiple updates, especially if it's after Redstone, right?
Yeah. No, it won't be after Redstone. It'll be before.
Oh, it'll be before Redstone.
But it will, instead of delivering the Windows 10 RTM, it will deliver Threshold 2 RTM.
Oh. So here's a good question for you.
What?
So this could be before the 1 year mark, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if they pre-download it on your system before the year mark, and then the year mark comes? Do you still get a free update?
It's a good question. I have
See, because they pre-downloaded it onto your system before the year mark.
I think you have to upgrade for it to count. You must. I think you have to upgrade before July 29, 2016. You can have it on your system. That's like saying I have the ISO, I just haven't installed it yet.
Yeah.
So I think they have to upgrade. So
very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope it's going to give more, convince people to upgrade, because it's just like, yeah, it's there. It's always it's just there anyway. So why not press upgrade if it pops up? I mean, at least they're not going to keep nagging you about it.
Yeah. I like when you're in the wild now and you hear like a Windows 10 specific notification. Do you kind of perk up and you're like, oh, my friends downloaded Windows 10. Look at you. I like you more now.
I see every now and then. I see a Windows 10 laptop in the wild. I'm like, oh, he downloaded Windows 10, but I haven't seen anybody set up Cortana yet. Everybody who I've seen with a Windows 10 device has the search bar, but it says search the Windows and web, which means they haven't set up Cortana. So they're not utilizing Windows 10 properly, and it annoys me.
Somebody's asked a billion questions to her, right?
Somebody has to, yeah.
Somebody. It's not just you.
Apparently it's not people in the wild either. They don't even know it's there. They just think, what's that stupid bar taking up most of my task?
Why is this bouncing and saying, hey, Sean?
Why is it talking to me? Delete it.
Delete it.
People are so concerned about privacy.
I know. Well, I can understand that.
I can't. I have nothing. I mean, people like you can't.
Me personally, I don't care. But some people have stuff that's worth hiding.
Like what?
My dad works for the federal government.
Well, the government's different. They're running Windows 98 still.
I think they're on 7. But no, they're not. I doubt they probably won't touch 10 for years at like government sources. But that's not inside or anything. I'm just saying. Most governments, I'd imagine, British, American, they don't touch Windows 10 for years.
You're going to have a knock on the door tonight from the CIA. What are you talking about? Get your hands in the air.
All of a sudden.
Taking you in for questioning. Right, let's talk about non-genuine users. Along with this news, Microsoft said non-genuine users will have an option to one-click update to Windows 10. What does that mean? I didn't read the story properly. Does it mean that they will
get one click to update, but I don't think you become genuine. Right?
I mean, that's always been the case. Why are they mentioning it again then?
Isn't it just an easier pathway to get it?
Myerson touches on the efforts of non-genuine Windows customers have gone through to get Windows 10, and to use that feedback, he and his team are willing to try an experimental one-click opportunity to get a genuine copy of Windows. Users will be able to go to the Windows Store and grab a valid copy of Windows 10 using an activation code they happen to purchase else. Oh, so you still got to buy Windows 10. That's making it easy for you to activate it.
It's an easy path to do so.
That's cheeky. I was going to say, a genuine copy. There you go.
No, well, there's no way.
Let's not bring that up again.
As someone once said, if they want to hit a billion devices, just let everyone with the fake copy.
Yeah, I mean, because that upgrade to Windows 10, even if it's ungenuine, still counts.
Oh, really? Oh, there
yeah,
you go.
Still counts.
All right, then. Well, that's about it, though, for that part, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much all the Windows 10 desktop-ish news.
Oof. Now we got Windows 10 mobile news.
Yes, and this was all you, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. So there was a new build this week. I'm running it. You're running it too, Zach, I believe. This was the first of the well, actually second, because the Xbox one. But it was part of the smorgasbord of new builds this week. They actually did it the same day. That was a new thing this week, right?
Yeah.
Same day, that's cool. Anyway, so Windows 10 mobile build.
Actually, before you start off that story, can I just say, Gabe hyped up the most ridiculous air quotes surprise of the week. It's like, we're doing something we've never done before. Like, what is it? Could it be? He releases the mobile and desktop build on the same day. That is not worth hyping up. That should have what it should have been in the first place for all the builds. Why? It's like you're just doing a standard now. That's not surprising. I can't believe that was annoyed by that.
Because people were like, is this landscape mode on the phone?
Is this a new distribution?
What feature are they showing?
Yeah. It's like, no, just two builds. No way. And the desktop build is older than the bleeding mobile build.
Not even the same number.
Sorry, yeah, exactly. Not even the same number. It's just offensive. Anyway, continue with your story.
There's not much to add. Windows 10 mobile build 10,581. I want to say it has 0 new features, but it's all bug fixes, right?
Yes.
I don't think there's a single new feature to report.
Nope.
Is there?
Nope.
You did a video.
They just said we've fixed a number of things and we've also broken a number of things, and they just mentioned it.
You did a video on that. I don't think there was anything.
I mentioned the one thing I mentioned in that build was the license agreement got updated to match the RTM. So.
Oh, there you go. But I don't think there's any. I will say this though, it is significantly better.
Yes, it's smoother. I mean, as these builds progress, they are getting smoother and smoother. I mean, the most recent builds of Windows 10 are just a little bit better than the last, which is good. So. RTM is soon, guys.
Yeah, soon. Yeah, where's my sheet?
Soon.
So you said, look, it's fast. There's no lag. It's great.
Opening app is just like,
it's an app. Look at that. There you go. Somebody probably just read all my messages in the freeze frame.
It's like, don't open that app. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. Is there anything else to
add? Not from that. There's an interesting story based on an ad duplex statistical report. So ad duplex gathers data. It's not Windows Phone versus other operating systems. It's data within Windows Phone itself. So it has stats for like world, US, the EU 5. Oh, that's a catchy term. Russia, India, tons of countries, that sort of thing. And you can break it down. Which model's most popular, what version of the operating system are they running, that sort of thing. A lot of the time, these aren't like super surprising stats, but they do give you a really good insight onto the state of Windows Phone and Windows 10 Mobile inside itself. And you know what, Zach? Over 1 in 20 Windows Phone users is a beta tester.
That's an impressive statistic.
Like, think about that. So they have this here as of October 25th. It's 79% are on Windows Phone 8.1. Not that surprising. A surprising number are on 8.0, which is almost 10%. It's 9.4%. But it's 5.7%, which, if I know anything about math, means over 1 in 20 people that's on a Windows Phone / updated to Windows 10 Mobile, but they're still Windows type phones, is a beta tester running a preview build because there isn't an official release of Windows 10 yet.
Yeah.
That's astounding.
It is. It's pretty funny.
Like that means that only 9 out of 10 aren't, or I'm sorry, sorry, that's terrible math, but 1 in 20, so you got 19 out of 20 aren't. That's a terrible stat. You have a ridiculously high beta testing base.
But then again, that's like saying Well, I don't know what it's like saying, but keep in mind, there's a small amount of Windows Phone users.
Well, that's what I mean. Is their base is so small, so they hype up things like, "Look how many insiders we have," which is great. I love the insider program; it really helps things. But they have so many insiders. They're like, "Look how many insiders we have." Yeah, those insiders constitute over 5% of your install base.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this is not. I mean, this is based on ad duplex, so there's probably, some amount of wiggle room. I trust their stats, but obviously this isn't like official Microsoft information. But there's a lot of beta testers, so I thought that was really interesting.
You are 100% right. Also, I've just realised, completely unrelated to the story, that you can pop out the YouTube chat. I just might replace the chat on the website with the YouTube chat, and then we could just have a seamless chat.
That directly.
Yeah, because people in the chat are being right idiots right now. Anyway, what's the next story?
Gaming, new Xbox One experience. Here we go. So it is October 30th, or the 30th of October, depending on your region, which we don't need to get into a debate about. Comments can do that for us. The new Xbox One experience is going to roll out to everyone on November 12th.
It is indeed, and I forgot to mention it earlier. A new Xbox One build 10,581, same as the mobile build, was rolled out, so doesn't include anything new, just more performance improvements, which is great though. I mean,
yeah, well, I think this is great. I like, I haven't used it, but I think the look of the new layout is cool. I like that it's obviously Windows 10, more devices towards the count, but it's a nice layout. It's really good multitasking features, that sort of thing. I hope that this is well received. I'm kind of curious, Zach, because I think some people buy an Xbox just because they like Xbox. I don't think they are.
Sean, we're losing you.
Like every person with an Xbox.
Hello.
Really? Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
you
no.
you
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Well, my video's gone for a sec. Sorry. I'll turn it on in a minute. Anyway, I don't think it's like every person that's on an Xbox is a Windows fanatic. So I'm curious to see if people receive this well. Well, what do you think?
I'm not. Well, the Xbox One dashboard doesn't look like Windows 10, does it? Really?
Not really.
I don't. I think it'll just be another update because I mean, Xbox 360 went through a number of dashboard updates, and although there's outcry at first, people get used to it. So I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's another one of those kind of changes that people are sometimes averse to change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. so I said, there goes Microsoft banners. No, it's the federal government. They shut my video down because I was talking about operating systems.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, then. Well, we got a poll this week while you deal with the comment section there. I'm going to read about a poll. How about that?
I'm going to ban everybody.
You have fun clicky-clacking on your keyboard with the comment section there. I'm going to talk about the poll that we...
Sean, you do keep cutting out. Turn your video off.
Because Ed...
Sean, turn your video off. Just turn your video off because you keep cutting out.
It is off.
Keep it off.
Can you hear me now? All right, I'll just keep it off. Sorry. Anyway, you put me as you could put me with my soon icon up there or something. You say Sean will be back soon. In any event, I'll come back for the after party. So because extensions were delayed and that sort of thing got me thinking about Edge as a primary browser when people are going to use it, because some people just won't touch it unless it has extensions. And so this week's poll was, when will you use Edge as your primary browser? 4 options yet. I already do. When it's refined and more features are available, and then a put in parentheses, other than extensions, and then a separate one once extensions are supported, and then I will never use Edge as my primary browser because I have to put never, or someone would yell at me in the comments section. Anyway, so this actually had a really kind of a weird breakdown. We had over 850 votes on this one, and over 40% of the people already use Edge as their primary browser.
No, that can't be.
That's what it says.
Nah, it's nice. Well, then again, we are WinBeta. We are full of Microsoft fanatics.
I was debating on doing this, but I have an email about this. I'm actually going to read part of the email, but let me get through the stats first. So it's over 40%. Specifically, I'm going to say 41 to 42. Some of these round funny, and I voted, I think, twice on this poll. So I'm going to say 42% already use it. Then you have 24% said when refinements come. 25% wants extensions there, and 10% just said never. No matter what Microsoft does, they will never use Edge as their primary browser. And that is that. So first I want to hear your response to these poll numbers, because I agree with you, they're a bit staggering. But what do you think about these? And then I have an email to read.
Well, I'm surprised by the 40% use it, really.
So, okay, let me get this email. I don't want to say who this is. If you're listening now, I'm not saying this is like I'm not trying to be rude. I appreciate that you listen and you follow WinBeta, but let me just take a few of the highlights here. He said, I think that this poll will be more insightful if conducted on, and then he lists 2 other more neutral sites. He says, I'm completely convinced that a 41%, quote, I already do result is just statistically impossible on any other website on the internet. It's statistically impossible. If you went to any other site in the world, there's no way they would say 41% are already on it. And he talks, I don't want to read the whole thing, I guess, but he says that he's worried that this skews how people view it because it makes it look like Edge is doing significantly better than it actually already is. So yeah. I don't think Microsoft's basing their decisions based on my poll with 800 plus people on it, but I was amazed. 42% of people already use Edge as their primary browser. So there you go. That's the poll for this week, Zach.
All right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, it really is. I'm still trying to battle the comments. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Zach? When do you use it as your primary browser?
I do.
Now, when you say primary, does that mean you never use another one? How primary is your primary?
I use it all the time. I don't have any other browser installed.
You don't use Chrome ever?
No, never.
You don't like WhatsApp from your computer?
I don't. If I'm going to WhatsApp, I'm going to WhatsApp from my phone. I don't use WhatsApp often enough. And Ron shouts at me because Ron WhatsApps me all the time. And I just ignore it because my phone's not on me or something. He's like, "Why are you ignoring me?" I'm like, "But I just don't have it on me."
All right. Yeah, I mean, I use Chrome for WhatsApp and Slingbox. There are a few things. I guess I do use the Slingbox extension because it's better than the app, which is a shame. But I don't know. We talked about extensions last week. Do you think these other features affect if people use Chrome or not? Or Edge or not, rather? Or if they choose to use Edge over Chrome and Firefox and other things? Do you think Edgecast and easily downloading videos with right-click, and do you think that sways people, or what do you think determines what browser?
Extensions. This all goes back to extensions. Extensions is like the first thing people want, and then.
But a quarter of the people in the poll said it was once other refinements other than extensions were there.
Yeah, well, that's because they're all Windows fans.
Oh, is that it?
Yes.
Okay. It's interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I got another thing we can talk about a little bit because we're actually for Halloween. It's just somehow we actually have a few extra minutes here at the end of the show. So we usually do this rapid fire, but I got a discussion for you. Would you buy a Windows 10 powered television?
Yes.
So this is based on there is a Windows 10 powered television coming out, right? Microsoft partners with somebody, and they have a Windows 10 television showing up. And some people are saying it's just kind of like Xbox. They should have made like an Xbox Lite anyway, which basically was a Windows 10 powered television. But yeah, I don't know. Why would you buy one?
Because it's Windows 10 and I just want to be in the ecosystem. Would the Windows 10 TV have... Well, what experience does it have? Is it?
It has the start. It has the store. It has. I think it has Office. I want to say. I don't have the store in front of me here because this is originally just going to be. What would you want on it? And I'll get the story and see what it actually is.
I would want the Xbox One dashboard UI on it, but not the ability to play games. Because the Xbox One UI is good for TV already. It's got one guide on it and apps. I reckon that'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's basically what it needs to be. Yeah, so it's Microsoft and Videocon. They teamed up for the first ever Windows 10 powered television set. So let me get some of the specs here. It's a Windows 10 powered LED TV, 32-inch and 40-inch models. It can double as a computer. It will house Microsoft Office as well as the Windows Store and an all-cast app, making it an all-in-one device. So similar to somewhat to, but it doesn't have, I don't think, the Xbox One experience. It does have, however, there's quite a bit of, well, let's see here. It's got some built-in storage. You can expand it with a micro SD card, built-in Wi-Fi, HDMI, that sort of thing. So it's all one, it's like all in one. It's not like a box and then you plug it in. It's like a television that's powered by an operating system. So that's pretty cool. But I don't think it's quite what you're asking for. And I think for it to be really popular, you would need one guide. You would need all the different features, that sort of thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
The chat is just outrageous. I think they've realised I can't ban people. This chat service is the worst. I'm gonna have to
we'll get rid of it.
I have to close the chat. So you could join us on the YouTube chat, everybody.
Join us on the YouTube chat, everybody.
Yeah, join us on the YouTube chat. I'm going to delete and resign. By resigning ownership of this channel, you will lose all its content and become available to the public. You can have it. Goodbye.
I wash my hands of you.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, let me say one last thing, and then you're hosting. I guess you got to close. But one last thing, story-wise. Happy birthday, Bill Gates! Right?
Happy birthday, Bill Gates.
Happy birthday. Also
in the chat, just everybody leave that chat. I'm going to delete the chat from the live page. Go to the YouTube channel. We will work from there, and I'll do whatever else.
I'm going to try to come back on video for the end because
yes, because they're just looking at me being frustrated at people right now.
Can you see me now?
I can see you.
I sure hope Leah's not mad that she's been on like 20 minutes of this podcast.
She probably doesn't even watch, I don't imagine.
Go ahead and block her. No, she's listening. Anyway, I got one scary thing, but you got to close out and then I got to spook you. I want to see your reaction.
Say that again, sorry?
So I have a bit for you, but I need you to close the show or it doesn't work.
Okay, so that was the WinBeta podcast for the week of October 30th, 2015. With me was Sean Michael. You can find Sean on Snapchat, apparently. What's that?
It's what every Windows fan is afraid of.
Oh, that's
Snapchat.
Snapchat, yeah, I get it.
It's also a ghost. Happy Halloween.
Yes, you can also find me on Twitter at... You didn't even say your Twitter handle. At Sean_Michael_UK. You can find me on Twitter at ZachB_. You can find WinBeta on Twitter at WinBeta DOTOLG. You can find us on Facebook, winbeta.org. Google search us, Bing search us. You can find us on the website at winbeta.org. So yeah, thanks so much for watching and have a look at Sean's live tile as we wave goodbye. Goodbye.